My husband sold my deceased daughter's service dog while I was visiting my parents. Now he wants me to apologize for my overreaction. I was only gone for 4 days visiting my parents after 2 years of pandemic isolation. When I returned home, Rosie was gone, and my husband couldn't understand why I was making such a big deal about just a dog. Rosie wasn't just a dog. She was the last living connection to my daughter Emma, who passed away from epilepsy complications last year at 16. Rosie was her seizure alert dog, trained to detect oncoming seizures sometimes minutes before they happened. Emma and Rosie were inseparable for 5 years. When Emma died in her sleep last February, Rosie howled for days. She slept on Emma's bed every night, guarding a room that would never again hold my daughter's laughter, and in my darkest moments of grief, Rosie would place her head on my lap, those knowing brown eyes somehow understanding exactly what I'd lost. My husband Mike never bonded with Rosie. He called her Emma's dog and complained about the cost of her special food, the dog hair on the furniture, the way she followed me around the house. I didn't care, but Rosie was family last week. I finally felt strong enough to visit my parents. They hadn't seen me since the funeral due to COVID restrictions, and my mom's health was declining. Mike encouraged me to go. Take some time for yourself. I've got everything handled here. The house remained silent. Mike was watching Dang, barely looking up as I entered. Here's Rosie, I asked. I found her a new home, he said casually, as if he'd moved a piece of furniture. That family on Oakwood with the 3 kids took her. They've been wanting a dog, and I figured it was time. I couldn't process his words. You gave away my dog without asking me? She was just reminding you of Emma every day. It's not healthy how you've been clinging to her, Dr. Shapiro said. We need to move forward, remember. Dr. Shapiro, our grief counselor, had never suggested anything remotely like this. Where are they? I'm going to get her back right now. Mike sighed dramatically. Don't embarrass me, Karen. I already told them she needs a more active family. Besides, they paid $800 for her. The room started spinning. You sold my daughter's service dog. What happened next is blurry. I remember screaming. I remember grabbing my keys and driving to Oakwood Street, frantically knocking on doors until I found the right house. I remember a confused woman answering, 3 excited children peeking from behind her legs. I'm so sorry, I told her through tears. Here's been a terrible mistake. My husband had no right to sell Rosie. She was my daughter's service dog, and my daughter died last year. The woman's face fell. Without a word, she called for Rosie, who came bounding into the entryway. When Rosie saw me, she whined and pressed against my legs, trembling with excitement. We didn't know, the woman whispered, visibly upset. He said you were moving to a no-pets apartment? She refused to keep the money, handing me back the $800 along with the new leash they'd bought. Her kindness broke me completely when I returned home with Rosie. Mike was furious. You've humiliated me. They're neighbors. How could you undo this without even discussing it with me? The same way you gave away my dead daughter's dog without discussing it with me. I replied. That night, I slept in Emma's room with Rosie curled beside me. In the morning, I called a lawyer. It's been 3 days. Mike has called my parents, my friends, even our grief counselor, telling them I've had a mental break and am choosing a dog over our marriage. He says I need to apologize for embarrassing him and acting crazy. Yesterday, I signed a lease on a small apartment that allows pets. Paral, Rosie, and I are moving out. Some people tell me I am overreacting, that marriage requires compromise, but I keep thinking about how easily he discarded something precious to me, how he used my grief against me, how he made me feel crazy for wanting to keep this last living connection to my daughter. Sometimes the cruelest betrayals come disguised as help, and sometimes a dog isn't just a dog parent. She's the keeper of memories too precious to sell at any price.